It is Pride Month, I think globally, certainly in the United States. And the Christian right every June loses its mind. White Christian nationalists lose their minds during Pride Week, Pride Month. A lot of them will say idiotic things. Well, the gays get a whole month and veterans only get one day. Y'all heard that we're there. Even though May is Military Appreciation Month, but they don't know enough about it because they're just liars and grifters and scumbags who act like they support the troops. They don't really know anything about it. Most of them haven't even served. They're just physical cowards who quake in their boots at the thought of public service in a military setting. Joel Webbon is a white Christian nationalist, a dangerous individual who has a congregation and an audience online. And in 2 clips, I'm going to show you just how dangerous the Republican agenda is for America, for historically abused and marginalized and oppressed groups like the LGBTQ in this country. This first clip, he just straight up advocates for the death penalty for being gay, for loving who you love, for being different than him. It really is an embodiment of white Christian nationalism and the barbaric lengths they will go to secure themselves and white supremacy in the United States and heteronormativity in the United States. Watch Joel Webbon, and then I got another clip in the same stupid show that goes even more gross and weird. I debated whether I wanted to play it because it's just so disgusting, but we're gonna, because a bright light needs to be shined upon this jerk-off. Watch Joel Webbon.
People would do more evil if they knew they could do it with impunity.
Right.
But by seeing, there's a penalty, and it's a strict one, that keeps evil at bay. Still evil at the level of the heart. We need gospel preaching to change the heart, but it absolutely restrains outward manifestations of evil. And so as you're thinking through, well, man, Leviticus is just, hashtag based, my goodness, like that, like Leviticus goes hard. Yes, it does, but it is important in understanding the case law system and general equity theonomy and a maximum penalty for repeat offenders, right? If you got somebody who sleeps with another man, and there's witnesses, that's the other thing. There would have to be 2 or 3 witnesses, not just hearsay. They had to actually see it occur, or the person gives their own confession. And even then, it didn't necessarily mean the death penalty. It could.
This, one, is why we have the First Amendment and a prohibition against the establishment of religion. Because your particular interpretation of your faith should not rule anyone else under color of law. If you want to preach your hate and your bigotry and your absolute jackass nonsense to your congregation, and they choose to show up and listen to your hate, do your worst, brother. But as far as the government is concerned, an equitable government where equal protection is rooted in our Constitution, it's another story. Now, this is on the rise, this ideology, this thought process that people, listen, when marriage equality was ruled by the Supreme Court, I believe on June 25th, 2015, polling changed overnight, that people were more amenable, more agreeable to gay rights, as well they should have been years and years before. We have failed the gay community in this country for decades, and we're still failing them today by not being outspoken enough in support of a marginalized historical group, of an oppressed, of an abused, of a trod underfoot group. For all the don't tread on me bullshit with these idiots, these white male Christians who fly that flag like they're an oppressed group, get the fuck out of here. It's the LGBTQ, women, black people, they should be flying the don't tread on me flag in the United States. It would actually fucking mean something. But listen to this next clip of this monster, this puke, this coward weakling talking about gays and gay sex, and it's just wait. Trigger warning. It is just disgusting. And then we'll talk about it. We'll dismantle it on the other side.
When you think of the LGBT community, it's like, well, they're marked by compassion, or they're marked by artistic expression, or they're marked by, well, don't forget the key characteristic. The key characteristic of the gay community is butt sex. That's the key characteristic. It's feces. That's the key characteristic. It's AIDS. It's disease. And it needs to be said, because nobody has said it for a very long time, because we're all scared. I don't particularly want to put my neck out there. You know, Right Wing Watch is probably going to have a field day with this.
And thank you to Right Wing Watch for having a field day with this. Thank you to Right Wing Watch and the selfless, thankless work they do to highlight moments like this. Listen, Joel, dipshit, bring it in. If the thing that you're whining about can also be applied to straight people, then it's not marked by. You know, straight people have butt sex, right? That's not an exclusive gay activity. And do you also know that straight people get AIDS from HIV from numerous sources, sex included? And did you also know that there are other sexually transmitted diseases that straight people get from having sex with other straight people? Did you know that? That disease in sexuality is something that has existed maybe forever. It's not a gay thing. It's a human thing. You know, there was a study a few years back. I wish I would have prepared this. I just thought of this. There was a study that the people who had the most disgust or aversion to homosexuality, they did a test and they put like a sensor on these dudes on their wieners. Try to keep it PG here. I mean, we're already past that with this clip. And they showed them gay pornography. And the dudes who pushed back more aggressively against it and acted like, oh, I hate that, blah. The sensor on the wiener measured movement from the people who were the most vocal against gays and against homosexuality. Joel Webbon, when we first started the podcast about 10 years ago, we talked about this study, and I named somebody the truth wiener, and that's who this guy is. That if you, dollars to donuts, my money would be on this. If you showed this guy gay porn, that when he's not looking at it in secret by himself, it would move. Maybe he's just ashamed of his own nature because of the fact that he was raised in a white Christian nationalist household, a home, and it has just burrowed into his brain and rotted what's in there. I don't know. Just be you, brother. There's no shame. You're talking about evil this, evil that. What is evil about gay people loving one another and expressing their love through sexuality, which is what you do with your wife ostensibly, right? What's evil about that? And you got to explain it without using your Bible, because I don't give a fuck about what your Bronze Age book says about how we should live our lives and how we should govern ourselves. So if you can't explain how it's evil without using your mythology, then shut your mouth. You coward. You abusive, bullying weakling. What do you think? I'm sure there's enough here to piss you off one way or the other. Maybe even stuff I've said, and that's fine too. You can comment below. We can have a conversation there. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would ask, please, that you consider helping me make these videos. For $2 a month, you can do just that help me produce this content. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go to patreon.com/I-doubt-it-podcast. You can buy some merch that I'm not wearing right now because it doesn't really look good under a suit jacket. Go to dollemore.info. That'll redirect you to the merch store. I would appreciate it very much. Listen, be genuine. You too, Joel Webbon. Be you. Take care of one another.